Hit it twice. Now hit the intro. Yo, no maniacs. Welcome to the show. This is Nomad live, all Bears all the time, in conjunction with Sports Zone Chicago and the Superback, Sean Sierra. And boy, lights, camera, action. Hard Knocks is coming to Chicago, man. Courtesy of Caleb Williams, man. He's gonna have Hard Knocks at HBO and Max pulling up in Lake Forest in the next couple of months here. And fans asked for it, and they shall receive, man. But and I got a lot to say about that. Most of it's good, and I feel good for the fan base and the opportunity to get this extra content. And it's a content bonanza for podcasters like ourselves and other podcasters. As a football player, I feel a certain way about it, but that's neither here nor there. We can get to that topic here in a minute. But everybody, welcome here to the show. While we're we're gonna give some pleasantries out, and let some people trickle in here before we really get into the football conversation. I got a little bit of a serious topic to discuss with you guys early, and then we'll get into the football discussion a little bit later on. But before I go any further, let me pass it on to my brother over there, the Canuck, and let him give out some pleasantries.
What's cracking, no maniacs? TGI to the F. It's Friday, y'all. Hopefully you got your sauces and your gravies. Let's do it. Super stoked about this kid and this team being on live and direct on HBO or whatever it is. I don't care what it is. I'll be tuning in. I'll be watching. So we'll get deeper into that. But give a little bit of love to the no maniacs out there in the world. King Booker World just showed up. How you doing, King? Hopefully all is well. FFG Styles out there with us. Jay Grizz, how are you, sir? Thank you for the C-Sharp love. Always appreciated. Rest in peace to our brother C-Sharp. Armando Jr., how you doing, Jr.? Patty Laura, hey, Patty. AC Adams in the building with us today. Who else we got? Oh, our guy Brian Hendren in the back holding down on the ones and twos. James Joseph is with us, and Mr. Crimson's out there too. Brett Coleman. Anybody I missed? The Nodge, Mr. Mayhem. Yo, folks are jumping in to see the show and see what it's all about. I'll throw it to my guy, the Bishop, so we can keep this baby moving. Bishop, go for
What's going on? What's going on? Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? No maniacs and sports zoners. How y'all doing today? TGIF. Y'all know what that means, y'all. We're going to get it cracking today. We're going to talk some Bears football. I'm excited. Hard Knocks is coming to Chicago, baby. Yes, sir. But before we get started, let me give out my pleasantries as well to my number one girl, my girl Sharita, aka Rita, my sister Felicia, to my special guy and also a major supporter of the network and of the show, my boy Van Washington, V-Dub. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, V-Dub, as well as to everybody else on the panel. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing, man? It is so wonderful. And I did not forget my guys, my boy Stuart and my niece out there in Florida, Sophie. How y'all doing, y'all? We're going to get it cracking today. Hey, Chi-Town, West Side, South Side, all of Chicago. Stand up. My man Sean, what it is, baby. You muted, bro.
Sports owners and Nomaniacs unite. It's been a week, man. It's been a week. Let me tell you, it's been a week. So it's good. I'm excited. I was throwing some weights around today. I forgot I was mad. I forgot I was frustrated this morning at CrossFit. I was just too tired. And then I was like, wait a minute. I'm mad about this, and this. Man, I started going crazy, throwing them weights around. And one of the coach was like, "You all right, dog?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." He was like, he goes, "You had something to get off your chest?" I'm like, "Yeah, I had a week, Papa. I had a week." So I feel good, man. Throwing them weights around. And my show this morning was good. Had my man Ken Davis on. We talked for almost an hour. Great stuff. Make sure you go back and check that out on Sports Zone Chicago. Make sure you follow Sports Zone Chicago's YouTube channel. You can check that out. A great interview today with Ken Davis. Happy to be here talking Bears. I'm excited about the things that they have coming on at the excuse me. Hard Knocks is going to be great. I asked Ken, and I'll ask you guys as well. Like, do you think that the NFL made an executive decision and said, you know what, we're having it regardless of what you say because it's in the best interest of the league? Or do you think or maybe they used the president, Kevin Warren, and say, hey, listen, you understand how important this can be. You go talk to those guys. You got a foot in the door. Obviously you're there. So I don't know. We're going to see how it is. I just wonder how it actually went down because the Amegadjie family was adamant about not being on it. But, hey, like I said, it's for the good of the family. For the good of the family, you got to do it. So just wondering. We'll talk about that throughout the show. Nomad.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let me get some house cleaning out of the way first. As you guys can see, we got a different look on the podcast. You see this, all those social media sites down there. You got Facebook, you got Twitter, you got Instagram, you got Twitch, on YouTube, of course. All that stuff you see down there. Listen, every one of those pages are in the lab being upgraded. We have a presence on each and every one of them. In particular, the Facebook people, there was a page that Chris designed that I think we have about 17, 20 something followers on there. And so if you can hear my voice and you're a follower on that page, just look out for it because there was a Nomad Live and there was a Nomad at Night page. Look for the Nomad Network page. It's the Nomad Network page, and you'll find us. Follow us there. So apologize to you guys for the inconvenience. We had to probably kind of do away with that page because of the edit. Chris had the password to it, and we couldn't really do what we needed to do with it, or we'd have kept it. But you can follow us at the Nomad Network on Facebook. Just look for it. You should be able to find it. You might find one. You might find two pages. We'll get rid of one and then tell you about it next time we do the show. But we're in there. We've got all that stuff in the lab, all those social media sites. Follow us on each and every one of those. And for the information down at the bottom, Cash App is $, the Nomad Network 2023. You feel like giving us a donation, we can definitely use the help. Please do that at $ Nomad Network 2023. The website is open, people. However, and this is the website, is the-nomad-network.com. You want to go over there and take a look at the website. Some dope merchandise over there, some real dope merchandise, and more coming. Don't worry about it. It's gonna that thing is just gonna expand and expand. So you're gonna have to keep your eyes on it. But do me a favor, don't purchase anything yet. Don't purchase anything yet. I've got the first of the merchandise, and it's being shipped out, I think, a couple of days ago. So I'll receive it any day now, and that's just good customer service. I'm troubleshooting the merchandise before you can get your hands on it. But I'm sure you guys will find some stuff in there that you like. But don't purchase it until you hear from us again on Sunday. Hopefully by Sunday, I'll have my UPS box and I'll be able to tell you guys all about that. And also, we have a new No Maniac hotline over there to your right. You see that number down there is 1-815-443-3925. An extension number 800. You can call that number if we didn't do a long enough show. You got a personal message from myself, the Canuck, Bishop, or Sean, or whoever's on the network. leave us a message over there, man. We get enough of them. We get some interesting ones. We'll broadcast them on the show when we can. But that's the number down there in the bottom right-hand corner. So with that being said, listen, I want to start this show off with a kind of, I say, there's in life, man. I see you guys in the chat, and I see you guys might see yourself as a name in the chat. I don't see you guys as a name in the chat. I see individuals. I see real people, real supporters, and just living normal human lives. And so what I'm about to bring up is very important to me because I pay attention to weather patterns. And so if you guys didn't know, NOAA, the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, I believe is the name for that, issued a dire warning for people that live, especially in the Gulf Coast. And I'm gonna talk to you guys on the panel about this, Keith, because I know you live in Texas, and in particular right there right now. But along the Gulf Coast, it's going to get particularly dicey. Up along the eastern seaboard, you got your Floridas, you got your South Carolinas, all the way up into New York and Massachusetts and all those areas up there. They are predicting that this is the most active hurricane season since they've been recording. That is significant. That is very, very significant because as we know, we've seen some bad years. I think the last one I can remember that was particularly bad was 2022, maybe 2020. I'm not sure, but we've had some pretty bad hurricane seasons, and the majority of the activity is going to come off the African coast. But the bigger threat right now to the United States is the stuff that's going to fire up out of the Caribbean islands. And if you know what that looks like geographically, that's going to fire right into mostly the Gulf region, right? And some of it up along the eastern seaboard. And so I just want to give a particular warning to our viewers that live in that area, man. Listen, get yourself a generator. Get yourself out of town when they're warning that these storms might be coming to you. Board up your house, do what you got to do to secure your place, but get and follow those instructions because I don't think this is BS right now. And that's one thing. However, those people who live in the high plains regions of Texas, Kansas, Oklahoma, those regions are particularly it's real bad. You know what I mean? This tornado season has been awful, and it's not even done yet. And so people who live in Texas, Keith can probably attest to this. And I might skip on you kids if you want to have a take on this, you can. But I'm gonna try to go right to Keith and see what he's experiencing down there. But it's
how do you turn the weather network off on this thing? No.
Hey man, listen. I know it's not football. But I'm telling you, man, I give a damn about these people that are in these regions, man. This like right now in Denver, it's baseball size hail banging up people's homes, busting up windshields, man. I seen what looked like something out of a sci-fi movie. Softball size hail in Texas, man. This stuff is for real, man. And so I just want to pass it on to the bishop, man. If you can quickly tell us, you got anything to add to that, go right ahead.
Well, I appreciate you touching on it. Where I'm actually located right here in San Antonio, we're considered South Texas. So fortunately for us, we don't really get a lot of that weather. We get the residual effect. So like was it this morning we had some heavy rains and some high winds for a bit. It's kind of calmed down now. No rain. It's partly cloudy with some high winds still. But the Houston area always gets pounded down along the port, down around Port A, Galveston area, because they're right off of the coast. So I am concerned about Houston because both my daughters live in Houston. So I'm always checking to make sure, see how their weather is, and checking on them to make sure that they're good. And I got some friends and loved ones that's in the Houston area as well, along with the Galveston and Port Arthur area. So definitely keep those individuals in your prayers. They often do get, kind of catch a lot of that bad weather coming up off the coast. And then, as you said, it runs up along the eastern seaboard as well. So, yeah, they do predict this type of weather every year. And it's those that don't take it seriously are the ones that often get caught up in it or refuse to evacuate when they need to evacuate. So regardless how often it is, spoken of, whether they talk about it annually, and they're going to talk about it annually. Why? Because the weather happens annually. But pay attention to it, take heed to it, and make sure you take the necessary precautions not to get caught up in it. If you know that a storm is coming, get to the grocery store. Don't wait till the last minute. Do it if you're hearing about it early in the week. Go to the grocery store early in the week. Don't wait till the very last day and then get upset because when you get in the grocery store, there's nothing there for you to get. So I'm gonna say that I'm gonna get off the soapbox and pass it back to Nomad or to anybody else on the panel who want to speak on it.
No, I complain about weather for 9 months out the year. I'll let you guys get at it.
You
guys can have at it, bro. Go for it. Sean, you good?
I'm good. Just be safe. Be safe, folks. Just be safe. You you live down there. That's like telling a person here in Chicago to put a jacket on in the winter, to layer in the winter. Come on, man. We know the situation. That's an area that gets hit by those. So this is not new. So do what you got to do to protect yourself and your families.
And my last take on it is, I think it's important to invest in emergency supplies. I think generators, it's not to be ignored anymore. The weather patterns are changing. If you don't have a generator, I'm to myself right now as I'm telling you that, guys, this because I gave my mother my generator and I have to buy another one. Get yourself a generator, get yourself some battery powered devices to keep your phone charged and all that kind of stuff. Get you some food, some non-perishables, because people are dealing with power outage right now as we speak in Texas. I don't know how many people are still out of power, but I'm sure there are people. There was 1 million people without power. And so, in a few days, that food's going to be, can't even eat it. If it's in the freezer, it's going to be over with, man. And so get you some non-perishables. What I mean by that, canned goods, things that come in boxes and bags, pastas, rice, all that kind of stuff. And just keep that stuff somewhere safe so that if in the event of an emergency, man, you're not totally high and dry, until the grocery stores get back fully operational. You got something going on for you. But I'll leave that there. And this is the end of that conversation. But please take care of yourselves. I don't care where you live at in the country, but in particular, those parts of the country, take extra precaution and pay attention to the warnings, man, because it could cost you, everything, the ultimate. So just be aware, weather aware. But guys, Caleb Williams has brought Hard Knocks, HBO, and Max to Chicago. And,
that Hollywood stuff that the Hollywood stuff.
Right, brought the Hollywood stuff with It's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. As I said before, as a football player, I have a different take on it. I'm going to give you that viewpoint in a second here after these guys get ready to go. But, it's a football player's perspective, and then there's a podcaster's perspective. The podcaster's perspective is like, bring it on. Just more stuff to talk about, more footage. It's bonanza for us. But the football player side of me, I could do with or without it. But before I take all the meat off the bone, I'm going to pass it to the Canuck and see how he feels about the decision to bring Hard Knocks to Chicago.
I know what I'm going to say. I love this. This is great. I was saying it already. I was saying it in the beginning. I was saying it, right? Like, I didn't understand. Like, I get why George McCaskey doesn't want to have anything to do with this. See, he wants to keep things in-house, indoors, and behind closed doors and manage that door, manage all the actions behind the doors. Like, that's where George is at. But, like, when else? Could there possibly be a more opportune time than now to do this? And I don't think there could possibly be. You just got yourself a brand spanking new toy and another toy to go with. You got the G.I. Joe and the Transformer. You know what I mean? Your wide receiver, your quarterback. Might as well put them on, put them on a show. Showcase these two kids. Showcase the entire shift, the flip, the rebuild that Ryan Poles has put together. I think it's awesome, and I think the rest of the world deserves to see it. Bears fans definitely deserve to see it, but I think the rest of the world needs to see it too, because, man, I think we're about to slap up the NFL. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I think it's about to start to happen. It's about that time. 85 is a long time ago. It's about that time. Bishop, what do you think, Doc?
Man, look, at first I was kind of siding with the McCaskies until I really thought about it and said, you know what? That wouldn't be too bad, man. You know, the city of Chicago and a lot of the things that the city itself has done in terms of just getting itself prepared for different events for visitors, but more importantly, when we talk about the team and what this means to the team, man, it's exciting. You know, you got the number one pick who happens to be a quarterback, and he was a former Heisman Trophy winner. You got, if not the best, the second best wide receiver in the draft, and you got one of the top defenses in the league right now. Why not? I mean, come on, man. It's Chicago, baby. And I said it earlier in the year. You know, the NFL will go as Chicago goes, and this is just showing, and this is, and the league is believing that as well. That's why it was so important for them to have the Bears on Hard Knocks, and they're the first team. So we're going to see. I think they're going to have a couple different teams, and they're even talking about doing this kind of segmenting it throughout the season. So it's exciting, man. It's good, and give us a chance, man, to really get to know our players and get to see what's really going on behind the scenes, man. I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to do well for the team, for the fan base, for the organization as a whole. But more importantly, man, I think that we got the right guys in the building to make this one of, if not the best Hard Knocks, because we got some characters in that building. A lot of people don't know that. Sean, I know, have had an opportunity to meet some of these guys because he gets a chance to get back there and interview these guys. So he knows a lot of the guys that's in the building already. So he'll be able to speak on that. But I think it's a great time, man. I'm excited for it. I can't wait. What you think, Sean?
Yeah, I'm excited. You know what? I'm in the same boat as Nomad because being a former player and a coach, it'd be a pain in the butt to have all those cameras around. All right, it'd be annoying.
Sure.
All right, but from on this side of the table, you know, the content we can get, the exposure, but also, I mean, the NFL. My question was, did the NFL kind of say, hey, you kind of got to do this, or, you know, this is not a request, you know, because they have. The NFL is always about the opportunity. They make an event out of everything. All right. Remember, the NFL draft was nothing. It was, and now they have, it's a couple of days. Now it's draft town. Every town they go to, they get there a week in advance, set stuff up, you know. And so the NFL is all about presentation. All right. They're all about presentation. Everything is an event for them. All right. And you got the number one quarterback, the top quarterback prospect in the last 10, 15 years. Okay. So why not have it? Going to a team that is the narrative. I mean, it writes itself. It's going to a team that has never really developed a quarterback. They really pretty much started the forward pass, and they're the only team, ironically, that doesn't have a 4,000-yard passer. And now you have, you know, with Odunze, you have 3 legit receivers, not to mention the tight ends, not to mention the running backs. It makes sense. And they're the charter franchise. And John Madden said it years ago, and this rings true to this day. The NFL is just better when the Bears are good. Okay? It's just better. And so I look forward to it. I look forward to the, you know, 4, 5, 6 episodes, whatever it's going to be. And they do a good job. They do a really good job. But what it does is it also, being a global brand, like people can know, now you can check out Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, they want him to be the face of the NFL. One of the faces. Yeah. All right, him, Patrick Mahomes, all those guys. Now, but also let's not forget, everyone loves the NFL. All right? Chicago's going to be watching because it's us. The DMV area is going to be watching for Caleb. Okay? And then other people who just like Hard Knocks. It's a win-win-win for everyone all around. So I love it. It's going to be exciting. And I can't wait till August, 5th, 6th? Man, it's going to be dope.
August 6th, as a matter of fact. Let me start off with that because it's a 5-part, 5-episode series streamed on HBO and Max starting August 6th, day after my birthday. And listen, it is a good time for the league, and it's a good thing for the Chicago Bears. Whenever I get through telling you how I feel about the whole being a football player aspect of it, at the end of the day, for the brand and for the city of Chicago and for all the fan base and the world around it, it is a really good thing because, you know, they're going to get to see how dope the city is and how dope the franchise is. Unfortunately, going to get to see up close and personal how ugly those damn socks are. that's a whole nother subject. We'll talk about that later on.
Leave my white socks alone. Oh, you meant the actual.
Can we not talk about it later on? Can we skip the socks?
Don't even get me started, man. But it is overall.
I'm trying not to.
It is an overall really good thing to see. You know, the world being brought to Chicago is what's really happening. The world's gonna put Chicago under a microscope, and unfortunately, you know, it's not gonna always be the best looking thing in the world. I've warned you guys ahead of time because stuff that goes on in the locker room is some straight tomfoolery sometimes. And that's why, you know, as a football player, I feel guarded. You know what I mean? I'm not there, but as a football player, I can totally relate to, oh, damn, man, some cameras in here. You already got some clowns in there be just jacking around all day anyway. And I can remember, you know, being in college, you know, and on that level, you know, when there was just normal stuff going on in the locker room, then all of a sudden here comes some camera people into the locker room and people start getting all extra on you. And you like, and even as a freshman, I was a leader, especially amongst freshmen. You know, and I'd be like, hey man, sit your ass down. Sit down somewhere, man. Ain't nothing between you, this reporter, and the straight up naked ass. So sit your ass down and stop clowning around in this locker room, man. Be normal. Just because there's cameras in here, don't be getting all extra. And so, you know, to us football players, the locker room is a sacred place, right? It's a real sacred place. It's like all the connections and bonds that you create that last you a lifetime. Start in that place right there. And it's sacred to us football players that really know what that feels like. And to have cameras that come in there and invade your sacred place, it's going to be some people in that locker room that's going to feel a certain kind of way, ain't going to want a whole lot to do with it, but understands the business and will welcome it 100%. But what I liked about what I heard, fellas, is Flus, and at the presser today, I got a little funny something that Scrolls said there I got to tell you guys. But Flus I like what he said because they had a plan. They had a plan going into this on how to deal, how to, I guess the respect level has to be set forth that, hey, man, no matter who these people are, what they look like, whatever you think of them, if they are with these platforms, whether it be the NFL, whether it be HBO Max, whoever it is, greet them with respect, treat them with respect, do the best you can to accommodate them being in your space. But I don't want to hear no stuff about somebody being disrespectful towards somebody. I'm sure was the theme of the conversation. But I like the idea, Kaz, that they had a plan in place ready to receive these bunch of people with all these cameras.
That's good, man. I'm glad that they're sort of thinking this thing through. It sounds to me like George McCaskey sort of pulled himself out of it. I kind of hope, and this is just me being a jerk, I kind of hope we get a little bit of you know, George McCaskey footage as we go through, man. I'm hoping we do, just of George being a bit of a, you know, being anti Hard Knocks. I think that'd be great footage, but we'll see if that falls to him. I know that there's a plethora of characters on this team, and I can't wait to let you guys know who I think is gonna steal the show. It's not who anybody else is gonna think. Trust me.
Don't go there yet, because that's a particular question I got for you fellas. But go ahead, Bishop.
I figured Kez was likes Ratchet. I can tell Kez loves Ratchet. So, and he's hoping that there's going to be some ratchetness coming out of that locker room.
Not out of the locker room, but out of George McCaskey's office. I'm all for it. That's exactly where I wanted to go.
Bro, that's gonna be hilarious just to see George on camera trying his ultimate best to be a personality. You know, because George comes off to being a little dry. Like he's a fan. He's no big time owner or none of that. He sees himself as a fan. So it's gonna be fun, man. I think it's gonna be interesting, you know. I got a couple ideas who I think is gonna steal the show too, and I'm gonna hold on to that till a little later. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Sean jump in on this, but I'm curious to see how George tries to either run away from the camera or how he actually ingratiates himself with the camera. That's what I'm
excited about too, man. I think that's gonna be hilarious.
I think George is a politician. All right.
He's not a good
George McCaskey is a stiff, man, but he's
a bad politician, but a politician nonetheless. You're right.
He understands about kissing babies and shaking hands. Okay,
he's a cool ass stiff, is what he is.
He understands that, and so you'll see him around. You'll see him around. I'm just looking. I like it. And again, I like it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad Flu said that, and that's just it. Just literally be respectful. All right, you're part of it. You got to remember, you're part of the NFL. All right, you just be respectful. And plus, they're not going to put anything silly on. You know what I mean? Like any disrespect, I highly doubt. So, just be respectful. Cool. What Coach Flu said. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. I can't wait till August 6th, and that's gonna be really fun, man. It's gonna be really, really, really fun.
Sean, I'm about to come right back at you, man, because you got to give me a name, because I saw Junior in the chat saying he was that one of those clowns in the locker room. You always got them cut ups, man, and I know in particular my boy Rick from Sussex, Virginia, man. Man, dude. I was always having, hey man, you better chill out, man. Anytime, but when he seen the camera people world, he got the clown, man. It had to be one guy on the team that comes to your head, Sean.
One guy.
If you gotta think about it, it's probably your ass.
Oh, you mean on my team?
Yeah.
My team?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was Junior, dude. Junior was the nut dude. He was just the biggest clown, dude. It was hilarious. His one-liners with me in the cuddle. I told you about the pirate story, right?
No.
Oh.
Is it appropriate, man?
Yeah, I have to change the word.
Just clean the shit up, man.
I have to change the word. So a girl, I was the Dominican girl, Dominicana. I was dating, and she had eye surgery, and so she had to wear a patch for a week or so, or whatever. But so she came to the game, and you gotta understand, Junior talks like this. His voice is very nasally, so he talks like that. He's a big dude, man. He talks like this. So we're in the huddle, and it's a timeout. And Junior looks in the stands, and he, she was there obviously before the game, but he's like, "Hey, Sean, how does it feel to date a pirate?" In the middle of the huddle. I'm like, what? Dude, he didn't use the word date. It's just,
I know what he said.
Dude, everybody started laughing except our quarterback, because our quarterback was out talking to the coach. I was like, you're a jerk, dude. Middle of the huddle.
That's a good one, Junior, man. That's great.
One back comes in, he's like, shut up, come on, focus. It was hilarious. Junior was that dude, man. He messed with the quarterback. He messed with our boy Caesar when Caesar was drunk, talking about so our boy's throwing up, and he's like, Caesar, why are you wasting the shrimp? There are people who are starving, and you're throwing up the shrimp. Why are you doing it? And it was hilarious, dude. Caesar couldn't argue because he's too busy regurgitating, and Junior's standing right next to him, like, bro, you're wasting the shrimp. There's so many people who would love to have that shrimp, and you're just throwing it up.
Oh.
And the last one, I'll tell you, one of my guys, our quarterback, got real religious one year. It didn't last, and he wanted to start a little church group, a Bible group on a football team.
Last.
And so we're playing catch, and Junior comes over, and he's like, hey, and Paul's telling somebody he's really into it, really, really into it. Shout out to my guy, Paul Ohm. Actually, he owns a security company that does security at Soldier Field. So if you ever see P4, the security guards at Soldier Field on the field says P4. That's my guy Paul, or our friend Paul's company. He's one of 4 guys, obviously the P4, and that's a security company. But anyway, and he's telling, talking about this with some guys, and as he's warming up, and Junior comes over, he's like, hey, Paul, you remember when Moses parted the Red Sea? And Paul's like, yeah. He's like, that was cool. He's like, you're a jerk.
Oh,
Crazy,
man.
crazy stories. Junior was definitely the class clown, the teen clown, and enough said about that, dude. And last thing, the season never started until Junior got into a fight.
Oh yeah.
Season, he was that dude.
You
Once
talking about
he got in the
Junior's
field,
that
on the
dude.
field? Talking about in the locker room or on the field?
on the field, just a little rough up, just smacking some guy's head, smacking around, and what are you doing? Stop that! Leave my quarterback alone. Yeah, anytime. That was the official start of the season.
Hey, when the fans get to see the amount of that going on, and I'm about to address this question. That's it. The FFG style took my very next question, so get ready for that. The fights that go on, I think I'm gonna warn you guys ahead of time. If you see a humbug going on in the locker room or on that field or anywhere in that facility, do not just assume that these guys can't stand each other and they hate each other. That's not the case, man. Moments make situations. It could be in the heat of a conversation or something that happened on the field that spilled into the locker room, and they get nose to nose and might be a little dust up going on. On the field is just pure testosterone. Pure testosterone. You love your teammates, but I jacked up a couple of them. People trying to jack me up too. You know what I mean? That's gonna happen. But later on, it's no love lost at all. You know what I mean? It's just the stuff that happens when men get together with all that testosterone. What do you think is gonna happen? It's gonna be some furniture moving around there sometime. Flat out, plain and simple. You're gonna see it. I hope you don't see too much of it, but expect to see that. And don't run away with the thought that, these guys hate each other. No, that's not necessarily the case at all. Probably more likely than they're probably cool, but just had a little disagreement, something that spilled into the locker room. You're going to see that kind of stuff. But let me get right to this question, guys. This was the next question, the exact question I have for you guys. So thank you for that, FFG style. What are the storylines that you think they'll focus on in Hard Knocks, kids? Of course, Caleb Williams. You don't have to go there.
Well, that one kind of goes without saying, right? Definitely. I think there's going to be a focus on the offensive line and how that's framing up. I think there'll be a focus on the rookies, just rookies in general. So definitely Odunze will get some focus. I think Jaylon Johnson will get some focus. And I think specific guys on the defensive line will get focused too, but I'm not sure if there's any real stories that we're walking into camp with, really. That's just me. I'm not so sure if we're getting any real stories coming into camp. I think the stories will sort of come out of Hard Knocks and camp itself, but that's me. What do you think, Bishop?
I think for our storylines, I think one of the storylines is going to be that defensive backfield. I really do. I think that defensive backfield is going to be one heck of a storyline. And the person that's going to be leading that, even though we think it's going to be Jaylon Johnson, I don't. I think it's going to be Kyler Gordon because he's a bit of a character, So I think they're going to really be kind of, just honing in on them in particular. That unit, but more importantly, I think Kyler Gordon is going to lead the way, just bringing attention to that unit because I think he's going to have a breakout year. By the way, on the offensive side, man, I really think the offensive line, man, is going to surprise everybody, man, and they're going to be a major storyline. Not just about how they're going to protect Caleb, but how they come together as a unit. And I think we're going to find out that there's some personalities on that offensive line. Tevin Jenkins being one. Just being that dude, man, that is going to be the one that I think is going to be the anchor in terms of, that nastiness,
You going to go through the whole team, man?
No, I'm not.
Give me one.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And the last one, of course, is going to be the connection between Rome and Caleb. What you think, Sean?
He left you just a bone, man.
I left him his favorite. I left him his favorite room, the running back room.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a big thing. I mean, that might be a secondary, tertiary thing. I think Keenan Allen might be a focus as a veteran coming in with his rookie. Obviously, you're going to have. I think the wide receiver core in general, because you got a good mix.
You got a story. You're right. I think
you got an aging vet, a very productive aging vet, right, with 1,200 yards last year. And you got a guy in his prime and DJ Moore, and then you got a stud rookie. I mean, you got literally 3 levels of stud receiver. About to, retire in a year or two, prime rookie. That's a great storyline as well. I think that's gonna one place they're gonna go. And then the secondary, similar. You got Jaylon Johnson, a guy in his prime, making big time bucks, and you got Kyler Gordon will be in his 3rd season. Okay. And then the young rookie. The young rookie was, second team all rookie last year. And the only reason he was only second was because he started off slow. They were picking on him. And you saw he really developed. He really, really, really progressed as the year went on. At the end of the season, had a couple picks, a lot of pass breakups. And so I think the cornerbacks and the wide receivers, and then those battles in camp, because maybe they focus on those two and say, okay, now let's look at this battle in camp, and see how iron sharpens iron. So those are some of my things. Nomad?
You know what I think? I think I'm gonna pare this down and really, really simplify this. I think the highlight, outside of Caleb Williams, of course, they'll probably pan the camera to him as much as possible because that's really what they're there for. But I think the storylines that's going to come out of this camp that's going to stick to everybody's ribs are going to be the battles between the number 1 offense and the number 1 defense. I think there's going to be some epic battles going on, and I think the rowdiness of it and the camaraderie that comes out of it, I think it's going to be testy. I think it's going to be a lot of shit talking on both sides of the ball. And the up and down days that that Hard Knocks is able to capture are going to be the storylines that we end up talking about on a day-to-day basis on these podcasts, at least weekly. It's going to be that kind of stuff. I remember those battles specifically, man, when you finally can pad up and you can finally kind of, you can hit everybody but the quarterback and you can't tackle and all that kind of stuff. When you start seeing that kind of stuff, the defense taking advantage of Caleb Williams and running up to him, talking stuff to him talking stuff back to him, and vice versa. When they get the best of the defense, you heard Tremaine talk about that a little bit in the presser today. I'm telling you, it's going to be some epic stuff going on. You get to see up close and personal for those who haven't witnessed a training camp, whether it be on a college level, pro level. If you've never experienced something like that and never got to see up close and personal how intense that stuff gets, I think you're going to be in for a real treat, because that's the stuff I live for when it came time to it, because you put in all that work, you sweated and bled. Now it's time to put on display the schematics of what's been taught in the classroom, the plays and the functions of what you got, and you get to go out there and challenge each other. And what's going to come out of it is, on the good days, bad days, or indifferent, listen, this rookie is going to come out of this, talking about the quarterback, a much, much better player and much more prepared for game 1 based on those battles you're going to get to see up close and personal. So that's going to be the storyline. I think it's going to be that veteran defense against this rookie quarterback and the pieces that he has. I'm telling you, that's going to be the biscuits and gravy, kids.
Bro, I'm just as interested in the defensive line versus offensive line case scenario. You went to the wide receiver and cornerback, but iron sharpens iron. I was just gonna say the nudge basically put it out there. Iron sharpens iron. We should see some really interesting battles. Hopefully we see a lot of growth from these younger offensive linemen, as well as some growth potentially on that defensive edge, at the defensive edge. I'm thinking edges versus tackles is really what I'm hoping to see. But at the same time, I also hope they don't broadcast any of that footage, because I'd like to keep that stuff quiet. So now I'm starting to sound like George McCaskey, right? Like I just turned into George McCaskey for a second, just for a second. I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't want any cats out of the bag. I want game 1 to be a little bit of a surprise when we meet up with Tennessee. That's my thoughts. So maybe I'm a little bit less hyped for Hard Knocks.
Yeah, think about it this way, man, because when you heard, I don't know if you got to see the presser. I got to look at it and flew.
No, I missed it.
Okay, so he came out there and said somebody asked him a particular question about it and how'd you get these guys prepared for all this? What you tell them? And he said that he had a plan, but I think a little fraction of that plan was to go out there while the cameras were there filming in that time frame because of what you said. You don't want to have any tells in your practice and cameras from everywhere there. They've got a plan to install things, I'm sure, when those cameras are there that they probably won't use during the season. They're not going to give that install stuff out on camera for the world to see. That's the real install stuff is going to stay in the building. So that part I'm pretty sure about.
It's not the installs I'm worried about. It's personnel really, and that's it. I'm giving away that. Just as a for instance, that Austin Booker is growing quickly in his role is probably something I wouldn't necessarily want the rest of the world to find out. You know what I mean? Like that's just me. I'd like to keep that under wraps so that boom, season comes, you got yourself an edge rusher on the other side that nobody's really prepared for.
Those plays are going to be vanilla, Bishop. Don't even worry about that though. But go ahead, your take on it.
No, I know everything's gonna be pretty vanilla, man. To the point. I just think that keeping everything specific is going to be key for them. I'm with kids on a lot of it, but at the same time, man, I hear what you say too, Nomad, with regard to how this is going. I don't know, man. For me, I just wanted to get started. I'm just gonna pass it to Sean because I'm just ready for it to get started, man. I can't talk on it, man, because I'm too excited and I'm just ready for it to get started. I'm excited the fact that we got voluntary mini camp starting next week, man. It's time
mandatory.
to go.
Mandatory.
I mean, you're right, mandatory. I'm ready for it to go. I'm just ready.
Ready to get on and pop it. Stop playing.
Right. Yeah, man. Let's go. It's time, bro. I have not even watched much of the NBA, bro, because I am so ready for football to start, man. I'm just being honest, man. So let's get going, man. I'm ready to hear some pads popping, man. I'm ready to see some stuff going down, bro. That's me.
What say you about them storylines, man?
Who, Sean or me?
Sean. I just want to see if Sean had one more take on it.
No, I'm good. That was good.
All right, so I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Here's why I want us to be specific because we're gonna start off on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay.
And we're gonna when we get to the offense, we're gonna totally omit Caleb and save that for last. Now, give me a guy on defense, Canuck, that you think is gonna be the breakaway star of Hard Knocks, the guy that's gonna get all the attention when this is all said and done. Give me one player. Don't give me 2-3 guys. Now give me one guy. And if you got,
you want to know who's my guy? You want to know?
If you got a reason why, go ahead and explain.
Andrew Billings,
Big Bill. Why Andrew Billings, man?
Because what we don't what you guys may not know is Andrew Billings is flipping hilarious. I'm just letting y'all know this now. There's a bunch of footage out there if you go and you look at some of his footage with Miami and stuff. In between snaps, he's a funny guy. He's out there cracking jokes. He's messing with the referees. There's some footage of him doing it here in Chicago too. He's hilarious, and I think y'all about to find out. And I'm with it. I'm ready for it. So. Andrew Billings is my guy on defense. Believe that.
Big Bill. We got Big Bill. We got one in. You guys in the chat, let us know, man, who you think is going to be the breakout player as far as his personality in the show on defense. We're going to start on defense. So give me a defensive player. Got one in there, Brisker already. Go ahead, Bishop.
My guy is Kyler Gordon, man.
Yes, sir.
Kyler Gordon. That's my guy.
Spider-Man.
That Spider-Man. Absolutely. I think he's just gonna do his thing, man. And that matchup, man, whoever's in that slot, lining up against him in the slot, man, that's gonna be just really gonna be epic doing Hard Knocks, man. And I just think, man, he's gonna do his thing. We're gonna get some backflips. you know, and then when he take his helmet off, that's gonna be for the ladies because they're gonna love his hair. You know what I'm saying? So
Light skin with the hair.
he's the new he's gonna be the new Troy Polamalu. Yeah, you know, with the flowing hair, man. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be the new Troy Polamalu. He got the flowing hair, bro. He's gonna be doing the backflips. You know, good looking guy. The ladies is gonna love it, man. So you're gonna have more women tuning in to Hard Knocks this season because
No diddy.
Tyler Gordon.
But go ahead, Sean.
That was my guy, man. That was my guy. Light skin, thin, good bone structure, attractive young man with crazy hair. Women are gonna love him. Women are really gonna like him, and I think he's gonna come out. And then he's a free spirit too. You know, you talked about his flips and his nickname Spider-Man, so he'll be doing all this stuff. And you're gonna have a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of kids now gonna be like, pss, 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 pss. You know, whenever they do something on the field, especially if they're DBs, they're gonna do something. Spider-Man with the good hair. that's about it, King Book of World. Spider-Man with the good hair. Yeah. So I think Kyler Gordon might be that dude, man. And that's cool. You know what? And the one thing that I hope it does for him and other people is, you know, since it's there, make the most of it. I hope it allows them to become more marketable. Hope it allows them to get a lot more notoriety. So, you know, because football's a tough game, right? Because unless you're a star, people don't really know who you are, right? Because you have a helmet on and you know your head is covered all the time,
right?
Not like baseball or basketball or even hockey. It's usually just a cat with a helmet with a shield. So I hope it makes some of these guys more marketable and make a little more money. You know what I mean? Get them a few more.
That's a good point.
100,000 or million followers and stuff like that, and just kind of propel you and really help you know the players, because you know that you're gonna know what Caleb Williams looks like. You know what DJ Moore looks like. You know some of the players look like. Now start looking at the whole team, and I think that's gonna really help you get really more invested in it, because being more personal. All right, now you're getting personal because they're gonna have their stories. You're gonna have some guys who are frustrated, this and this, guys who are funny. Yeah, I think it's gonna make it a lot more personable with Bear fans, and you know what? Some people across the country.
There's a lot of stories, man. Like I'm just kind of thinking about it.
They on defense now.
Okay, well then I'm gonna move off, because there's a lot of stories that are just running through my head that they can sort of go through as they go. But
we'll give overall once we get individuals on both sides of the ball. We give an overall and let everybody give that take you want to give, kids. I know where you're going, I think, but here's my guy, and every football team that I've ever been a part of, every last one of them needed some spice. Every last one of them needs some hot sauce of some kind, whether it was that Crystal or my favorite Louisiana or Tabasco. You need some spice. That guy that fires everybody up, that chippy dude that's constantly on the edge all the time. And it's, I got two guys in mind, but I'm gonna follow my instructions and give you guys one. And I think that's DeMarcus Walker. I think people are gonna get a load of his personality and gonna find out that he's a spark plug to that defense. And he gets those guys fired up. And I'm telling you, I think DeMarcus Walker is going to be all over that camera. He's going to be yelling, spitting, firing them guys up. It's going to be a whole bunch of – it's going to look damn near aggressive, man, like it's going to be a fight going on every time you hear him talking. But that's how he's cut. Watching him at Florida State the whole time he had been there, man, he's been that way since the day I laid eyes on him. This dude is spicy. And he expects other people to be spicy, be chippy, play with that edge and play like this – practice like it means something, man, because he knows what he's getting ready for, an 18-week war. And that's what it is. It's an 18-week war. Game to game, it is a war for 60 minutes. And you need generals. That guy's a general. And so that's my guy. That's going to be the guy I think is the breakaway defensive guy. But we'll talk about him a little bit more in the overview. But let's go offense, man. Of course, take Caleb out of this Canuck. Give me your offensive guy that's going to get that camera on.
I think it's one of these wide receivers, man. So I'm gonna do the world a favor here, and I'll stick with the Jamaican. I think DJ Moore will definitely get a fair amount of shine, but I also think the other two guys are going to get a lot of shine too. There's a fair storyline there for each one. but I will leave meat on the bone on this one and just say I think DJ has a fair amount of personality, and we're starting to see a lot more of it lately. And I think it's going to bode really well on camera with Hard Knocks. That's my 2 cents there. What do you think, Bishop?
Whew. Yeah, you stole my guy.
Oh
But
man, I was trying to leave.
It's all
Anyways,
good though. You know what? But it's all good because I'm gonna flip the script on you guys.
Flip it. Real good.
I think it's gonna be our last year's rookie on the offensive line. I think the camera's gonna be on him, and I say that because
what's his name, man?
his name's Darnell Wright.
Darnell Wright. Okay.
Mr. Wright. I call him Mr. Wright.
Okay.
I leave his first name off. I get because he comes to work, man. He's that guy that comes to work and take care of business. So Mr. Wright is gonna have some attention on him because everybody is looking for Tevin Jenkins to do what he's supposed to do. But I think Mr. Wright is going to get all the attention as far as the cameras because he's going to have to be that extra guy on that offensive line to help set the tone. And I just think that the camera's going to be on him. So just to see just who else besides Tevin Jenkins help get that offensive line in order. You know, I'm not taking anything away from the veterans on that offensive line, but I think those two guys are going to be the two staples on that offensive line moving forward. Sean?
DJ was one of my guys. Tevin was the other guy. I disagree with you, Bishop, on Mr. Get You Right, because he'll knock some sense into you down there right well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Braxton Jones might get a lot because of the questions around him. Do we get a left tackle? Do we need a left tackle? Is he good enough? And I think they're gonna really take that 5th round. Was it not Utah? Was it Utah State? No, it wasn't Utah State.
You're talking Kiran Amegadjie.
No. I'm talking Braxton Jones.
Came from Southern Utah.
Yeah, Southern Utah. All right, Utah somewhere. Yeah, I think and they're gonna look at where he started, look at his improvement from last year. Is he another improvement? Because you have a quarterback in Caleb that is going to be the franchise quarterback. Are they good with him? Protecting his blind side. And I think they're going to say, hey, small town kid, small school kid, Southern Utah, all right, start. And here's the thing. He started every game his rookie year, right? He missed a couple games last year, but he got better last year. And they're going to highlight his struggles with the bull rush, his improvement last year with the bull rush. I think that's going to be a thing that they focus on is Braxton Jones, because you have your franchise quarterback, you better have your franchise left tackle, and can he be it? Maybe, and how good are the Bears going to be? Okay, because in my opinion, I think Braxton can be an above average left. Are you is the brass comfortable with an above average left tackle and your franchise quarterback? All right, are you cool with it? If they are, then hey, then they don't need to worry about that position. They can divert resources elsewhere. If they want to upgrade, will they? But then it's going to take somewhere. It's going to leave a void somewhere else, or they're not going to be able to address another issue. So I think they're going to look at Braxton Jones on the offensive side for me.
But you know what, Sean? It's funny you say that because the NFL seem to think pretty highly of Braxton Jones because he's ranked. He's ranked among the other offensive linemen. So in terms of what they think of him. So I mean, I get it. Maybe if he went and got, who knows? He might have went and got a BBL over the offseason too. So that might help him a little bit too.
Well, we're gonna have to get out of here in a minute. So I'm gonna wrap this thing up real quick with my take. And you guys took all the meat off the bone. And I wanted to go with Odunze. That's an easy one. Besides Caleb, Odunze would be the easy one. I'm gonna throw you guys a changeup. I could have threw you one straight across the plate and tried to burn this thing past you and make you take a swing and a miss. But you're gonna swing and a miss anyway because you ain't gonna guess what I'm about to say. I think the guy that's gonna come out of this hard knock situation with the cameras on him, I think people are gonna be pleasantly surprised at the receiver by the name of Peter LeBlanc out of Louisiana. So if you don't know who that guy is, best look at the Bears website, go to the roster, and go find out what number this cat is wearing, because I don't know at this very moment. I need to go back and look. Don't know if they updated the player numbers yet. But Peter LeBlanc, that's my sneaky pick coming out of this camp. There's going to be some eyes on him. I think he's going to turn some heads in this camp, man. I'm telling you, I got that kid Peter LeBlanc. I told you guys in the UDFA process when we were doing the shows, this guy looked good on film, man. He's going to be one of those guys. He's kind of like Rome or Keenan in a way, that he's a big receiver that finds spaces real well. I won't say he's a great separator, but he finds holes in zones very well. And in the type of defense that we play, it's going to be holes in zones. And the quarterback is always going to be looking for a guy that's sitting in the right spot. And I'm telling you right now, Peter LeBlanc is going to be one of those names that come out of this camp. But
Monsieur LeBlanc, eh? Monsieur LeBlanc. He's good. He's solid. I like him, but unfortunately, you just bumped out a wide receiver, likely, and his name might rhyme with Ellis Owens. It might rhyme with that. Just saying.
Our boy Velus Jones. Is that who you're talking about, kid?
No. I don't know anybody. I don't know him, but it might rhyme with the other guy that I was saying. It might sound a lot like that guy. I'm just, there's only so much room in that room. That room getting real tight. It's real tight in that room. Lots of bouncers. They card you at the door in that room, bro. Like it's hard to get in. Bro.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna let everybody have their take. But let me acknowledge my guy Plank. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Let's get those likes up. Nomad, Ked, Superback, Bishop, Brian put themselves out here daily. Show them some love. Bear down, man. We appreciate you, Plank, so much.
Thank you, Plank.
If you have not, please stop, pause, go out there and hit that like button for us and come on back in before we finish up the show. We will really appreciate that. And if you're new to the channel and you like this stuff that we do, you think is dope, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're waiting on you and to welcome you into the family. For both us over here at the Nomad Network and over on Sports Zone Chicago for my guy, the Superback over there. But let's give out some pleasantries before we get ready to get out of here, kids. You can give your overview on what you thought of the whole show.
Yeah, the stories, the Hard Knocks stories case scenario the Hard Knocks stories question that you guys were asking FFG. I kind of glossed over it, but I think there's some other really interesting stories. There's a kid from Canada. I believe there's a kid from Africa. There's who else? Who's really going to fill up that wide receiver room like that Nomad kind of just brought out? Is it a guy like Peter LeBlanc? Because again, if you take a look at the tape, he's a very interesting wide receiver, right? Yeah. He's very interesting, nice, smooth route runner. So if that's really what they're looking for, and I understand your Keenan Allen comparison now that I'm thinking about it, there's a comparison to be had there. But again, who gets in that room? Lots of stories to be had across the board, and I'm with all of them. I'm super stoked. Sorry, George McCaskey, but I'm also stoked to see you do some silly stuff on the show too. So hopefully that goes over real well as well. Anyhow, love to all you guys. It's Friday. Thanks for hanging out with us. I plan to get drunk. I don't know about the rest of you guys. It's Friday. Do something, drink something, enjoy the night. No maniacs. I'd give you all X amount of love, but I think I've already done that. Mike Davidson, a little bit of love for you, Mike. I never get to shout out Mike Davidson. Who else is out there? Chris Franklin, Kenny Adams, couple of heads out there. Just B, how you doing, Just B? Just B, he comes in all the time, and I never get to Just B. So just a little bit of love to some of the folks out there. Smitty Q, Jimmy Santilli, and we'll call it a day. I'll throw it down to my guy, to Bishop.
Before you go, Bishop, let me acknowledge King Booker World with the $2 chat. Hit us with the Walking Dead reference, man. Nice hit right there called Loose Rick Grimes, man. That is absolutely hilarious, man. I got to get a little quick joke in, man, because I was taking some final notes for the show and kind of watching the press conference at the same time, and I saw the scrolls, who I haven't seen in here yet today, man. He made my stomach hurt, man, because because Richard Hightower came to the platform, man. He said, our special teams coach looks like a bottle of cologne.
Oh, no. That's funny.
I was laughing so hard because I'm sitting here with a bottle of Versace sitting right in my face, and I looked over at it. Man, I'm telling you, I was in here. My side was hurting, bro. But I digress. I had to get that out there. I thought that was freaking hilarious, man. But go ahead, Bishop.
No, once again, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Kid.
Sorry, I was just gonna say that's another story right there. Special teams, the changes to special teams, the punter from down under, whole bunch of stories. Sorry, Bishop.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. TGIF as always, brothers. It's Friday, and once again, thank you for everybody that hung out there with us, man. We do appreciate it. But my overview on everything, man, is again, I'm just ready for it to get started. Let's get to it. Let's play some football. I know that they're gonna only be in helmets,
Anytime
man.
now.
Yeah, I know they're only gonna be in helmets, man, doing mini camp. But it's all good, man. It's just the fact that they're on the field, man. And we're actually talking about 1,000-yard receivers and everything else, man. So and now that we got Hard Knocks coming to the building, bro, it's exciting, man. We got some personalities. I think we're gonna find out we got some personalities we didn't know we had on the team. And then the ones that are there, we're going to get a chance to see them and get a chance to get to connect and really know this team, man. I think this team is on the horizon sooner than later. I have to agree with kids. I think they about to put the smackdown on the league. I have a term that I like to use is they're going to put the foo-fopping on some folks. Yeah. So they're gonna start putting the foo-fopping on folks, bro. So it's about to get live, baby. It's about to get live, So
is that copyrighted? Can I use that?
Yeah, somebody named Tyrone down on the corner at the liquor store.
You never know
on you about it, but go ahead.
Hey, if he's hanging around the liquor store, he probably didn't copyright it.
But with that being said, man, hey, it's Friday, man. Everybody out there, you guys have a safe, enjoyable weekend, man. I'm gonna get me some cigars in this weekend, man, and hang out, and just chill. Once again, I want to give another shout out to my man Van Washington, who is watching the show. V-Dub, happy birthday, my brother. But more importantly, just to everybody, enjoy your weekend, stay safe. Get you some sunlight in your life, man. Get you some vitamin D. Love on your loved ones, man. But enjoy. Summer is on the horizon, y'all. So let's just have some fun. Sean, to you, my brother.
Sports owners and Maniacs Unite. Man, TGI, Mickey, Vicky, Friday. It's been one, man. It's been a week. It started off, and I just got a text. Make sure you follow Sports Zone Chicago's YouTube channel. Please subscribe. It's free 99. You don't have to worry about it. All right. Even if you don't even watch one episode, just subscribe. Every email address you have, just subscribe to Sports Zone Chicago's YouTube channel. I appreciate it. Kaz, I just got a text. Meeting some people for dinner, and then we're going to a house music festival out in Cicero. Oh, you know where that's at. But anyway, yeah. And so I got
music all night long.
Yeah.
Say what?
All night long. Say what? Music all night long. Say what? So I'll next week I'll have a new shirt because my t-shirt guy, my house music t-shirt guy, he's gonna be selling them there. So I'll probably get me a shirt or two. And
get his website for me, Sean. Get his website for me, please. That way I can get me.
He doesn't have a website, but look on John Gear on Facebook. JOHNGEAR, John Gear, and then you can order them and he can sell them to. He's got a whole bunch. He just got some brand new ones, like 5 new designs for this year. So check it out.
Consider it done, brother. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Man, down in Texas. Yeah. John Gear, and check Chicago Gear as well, because that's the name of his company, Chicago Gear. But his name is John. Well, his Facebook page is John Gear. So John Gear and Chicago Gear. Make sure both of those. Check both of them, and you'll get it. But so Kez, I think I'm gonna go have. It's a business dinner. A friend of mine, they're taking their
yeah, those are the best times.
Yeah, so it's.
I mean, somebody else paying for the drinks is what he's trying to say. That's
all right. It's all expense. How do they write it off? I don't know. They just write it off. To all my Seinfeld fans. But yeah, guys, have a great weekend. It's a beautiful weekend here in Chicago. And hopefully it's beautiful where you guys are at as well. And we talk about it. Let's keep it a buck, man. Make sure you tell your loved ones you love them. All right, send them a note, send them a text, send them a voice memo. All right, just keep doing that. You'd be surprised how much joy and happiness you bring to people when an old friend or partner or cousin or family member sends you a text, or even a voice memo would probably be best because they get to hear your voice. They see the text and all that's cool and it makes them feel fuzzy, kind of fuzzy inside. But to hear your voice, it takes it to another level. So you know what? Make sure you do that and have a great weekend, man. There's so much hate going on in this world. All right, let's spread some love, man. That's what house music is all about, man. Just love and dancing, expressing yourself through dance. So I'll be out there jacking it up. Jack my body, jack my body.
Pause.
I'll be out there, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a good time out there. And make sure you follow me on Facebook because I might go live just because I'm crazy like that. So Nomad.
All right, man. Hey, listen, man. Thank you guys. Great show. Great job today, fellas, man. Everybody in the chat was very, very y'all was bubbling in there today, man. I appreciate it, man. It was a good time having a fun show, man. But hey, today, Brian, if you can hear my voice, give me a thumbs up. You don't have to come out. But today's outro is going to be Think, See, Manifest instead of Love, Peace, and Hair Grease. So that's your cue. All right. So look, real quickly, man. I think we're about to be in for a lot of surprises come time for Hard Knocks. I think we're going to find out a lot about our team. I think we're going to find out a lot about the players and their personalities that you didn't know currently. And I think that's going to be revealing, and people will do what they do with stories and how they spin it, whether it's a good story or bad story. Just be ready for the ups and downs of the media and how they twist and turn stuff as we move forward, because it's a bonanza for them too. They're looking for any kind of dirt they can find. They'll lift up that rug in the locker room, that nasty rug in the locker room, all those dirty feet and nasty, sweaty bodies are sweating on. They'll be looking for anything. They'll lift that rug up to find a bad story. So be on the lookout for that. Media people will be media people. But before we get out of here, I got to say this to you guys, and it's kind of how we started the show. Very, very serious about these weather warnings. I think you all should really pay attention to that if you live in the regions that we talked about earlier, because I'm not just a podcaster and a football player. I'm a human, and I care about people's lives and their families. I really mean that stuff when I say it. I'm not just talking to get kind of what do you call that, credibility or anything. I'm just telling you guys to heed warnings, and I think it's important this time of year. But before we get out of here, there's a motto on the bottom of the Nomad Network logo that says "Think, See, Manifest." Don't hit the button yet, Brian. I'm just going to explain the logo to them. But there's a reason for that. I think in this world, if you remain stagnant and you remain regimented and you're not thinking progressively and moving forward and looking for the next step, being optimistic about what's going on in the future and what you can do about being a part of that and being the change in your own personal life and out there in the world. If you're not doing that, you're stagnant and you're closer to a graveyard. That's just universal law. You need to be looking forward. You need to be thinking, seeing, and manifesting your future and trying to be an active part in it. And so that's what my advice to you all would be is to start practicing that, because if you can think it, you can see it. And if you can think it and see it, you can manifest it. So, it's up to you guys, man. You can make your life what you want it to be. I'm one of those people. I feel like I'm designing my life for my future right now as we speak. And I believe there's going to be some greatness in that future. And I'm doing my part and playing my part in it to create that now actively. And so that would be my suggestion to you all. I don't care who you are and where you are in life. You can take that and use that in your life and prosper. And I wish the best for everybody out there that just heard that message. I think it can happen to you too. But before we get out of here, I'm going to leave you with the new famous words, and that is think, see, manifest. We out.